Well, hello, everyone. My name is Darren. I am one of the marketing coordinators with BCIT's School of Health Sciences. It is my pleasure to welcome you today to the Health Sciences information session for the Cardiology Technology program. First, I want to say how happy we are to see you all and thank you for attending our presentation today. You can feel free to post your questions or comments into the chat during the presentation, and we will address as many questions as we can near the end of the presentation in the Q&A segment. I just want to mention that the British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam. Before I get into introducing Lisa Gowans, the program head, I'm just going to bring up some polls for us to participate in, just to find out where everyone's coming from. Okay, now the important questions, the cardiology technology questions. Here's the first one of two. Cardiology technologists use the following equipment in clinical practice. Maybe we can get Lisa to weigh in here.
Sorry. Yes.
No,
yes.
it's okay. Sorry.
Yes, the answer is all of the above. So within our practice, you can be using ECG machines. Not a lot of places have stationary bikes, but they are around. And treadmills are used very often for our patients to assess how their heart and their symptoms react to stressors like a treadmill.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And here is the final question. And it is also a cardiology question. In clinical practice, cardiology technologists, and please select your favorite ending to that. And now I'm actually going to hand it over to Lisa to tell us how you guys did with the poll, and then we'll.
Yeah, everybody got that one. Yeah, so that's what we do. We perform non-invasive heart tests for patients, and it can be in the hospital, it can be in clinics and other places as well. Yeah, it would be fun to assist in cardiac surgeries, but no. Thank you very much for joining us. It's my pleasure to share some aspects of our program and try to encourage you to consider a profession in healthcare. So in our program at BCIT, our program is blended. It is mostly online for the academics. So we're considered a blended program delivery that does the academic courses online. We have a 2-week BCIT lab where students come here for 2 weeks, all day, every day for 5 days a week for 2 weeks to prepare them for clinical, where we get hands-on experience and practice with all the cardiac equipment that we have here in our new beautiful health sciences building. We have a brand new building that we are getting to use now to practice with students. The other portion of our program is clinical. So students go into the hospital environment. There's 2 clinical pieces. There is one halfway through the program that's about 10 weeks long. And we have a second one near the end, which is 16 weeks long. So the online theory courses it's flexible with course load. So from term to term, if you want to take 5 courses, which would be considered full-time, you can, but you also have the option of taking less courses, or you can mix it up depending on what's happening in your life and how the courses would fit for you. So our clinical experiences are 26 weeks total, but broken up into 10 and 16 weeks. We have affiliation agreements with many places, many hospitals across Canada. We're not limited just to BC that support our students and our program. And yes, the lab is where we really get hands-on, lots of intense hands-on experience with all of the equipment, role-playing patients, and it's a really great opportunity to connect with your classmates. We'll just move. Thank you. So, oh, look at, I already said some of this stuff. So yeah, the clinical practicum is 10 weeks and 16 weeks. It provides hands-on experience in the hospital. So you get to go right in, and within a few days, students are jumping in and participating with patients and getting all the hands-on experience that you would want in the hospital. You get to go to the emergency department, you get to work in the department itself as well. You get to go to all different areas of the hospital. And in the second clinical, you have exposure to advanced areas. So what that looks like is you could carry on past cardiology technology, and you could work in device clinics. So helping patients that have pacemakers. You could work in EP lab or the cath lab. Those are other advanced programs we have once you have the diploma. So you get a little taste of that when you're in clinical exposure to seeing what that might be like, and maybe tempt you to go on in schooling right away or later on. So the job opportunities. So Career Outlook right now is amazing. People are desperate for employees. And careers are starting around $28 an hour. You can find positions in hospitals, medical labs, some medical device companies hire, and cardiology clinics, so private clinics. But very truthfully, I'm getting emails and calls almost weekly asking us to advertise or help source out graduates that would be willing to work. So I would say still a lot of the work is casual to start with, which means you're working some on call, but it's not all like that. People aren't waiting so long for a part-time or full-time position. And also to consider that sometimes working casual can really work for a flexible lifestyle. So we do have graduates, I know that, it allows them to take time off during the year to travel. They're not tied down as much because they don't have a permanent position. So some of the other opportunities we have at BCIT, that I mentioned before, once you have our diploma in the cardiology technology program, other programs that we offer after that is the electrophysiology program, cardiac rhythm device program, cardiovascular program, and you can carry on to TRU in Kamloops for a health sciences degree, and they take the credits from the cardiology technology program and they use it towards their degree, and you can use that on your way to get a degree as well. So you can pause and start working. There's lots of work to be had, or you can continue on with a few different options. Oh, here we go. So I'd just like to welcome Rachel, who is a graduate of ours from the last 2 years, I believe. She's here with us today. Thank you so much, Rachel, for joining us. And she can give you a little bit of a lens as to what it's like to be in our program and what it's like to be out in the job force. So thank you, Rachel, for joining us.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel, as Lisa said. I started the program in January 2020, and I took it full time. I felt like it was very manageable. It was about 5 courses a term, and the support was amazing from the instructors. The course layout was really good, easy to learn from. And then the thing that I was the most afraid about was being really ready for the workforce, but with all that clinical experience, I felt so ready. And thank God, because you hit the ground running. There's so much work to be had. I started out casual. I pretty much right away got a temporary part-time position, but I work full-time and all the overtime I could possibly dream of, which is nice. The other thing I loved about the program was just having that comfort that if something unexpected happened in my life, I could go to part-time and I wouldn't have missed out on all the money I spent on school. You're paying as you go, which is nice. But yeah, if any life change happened, I could change how many courses I was taking, and I found that really comforting. And then the other thing is that I love the fact that we can change if for some reason you got bored, although I can't find see myself getting bored. I absolutely love this job. I can't stress that enough. I can take an advanced certificate, which is really cool. I'd love to take the rhythm device program. And yeah, I really love this career. I can't even stress that enough. I love working in the emergency, working with the patients. It's so rewarding. I love that we have such a in-depth knowledge about the heart and ECGs, and when you have that respectful relationship with the other people in the hospital, doctors and nurses and everything, and they come to you and ask you, it's just, you feel so good. I just love it. The course load, you can choose how heavy the course load is. So if you want to work at the same time, there were a lot of my fellow students who worked at the same time, or single moms or whatever. And some people were taking 3 or 2 courses at a time. I took 5 at a time, and I didn't work. That was my choice. I started out working on weekends and doing it during the week. I just stopped because I wanted to focus, and I found it very manageable, for sure. I worked pretty hard and got it done. I was so glad to get it done in 2 years. And I worked during the summer, which was great to have the summers off too.
Thank you so much for answering that, Rachel. I
Yeah.
think if anyone else has questions specifically for Rachel, if we're lucky, she can hang around for the Q&A. That would be amazing. But right now, I'm just going to switch gears and run us through the admission information. So thank you again, Rachel and Lisa.
Yeah.
I'll be done
No
in just a
problem.
few moments. Okay, now I will be reviewing with you the entrance requirements and admissions process, along with briefly discussing some key student services that are available to you at BCIT. The Cardiology Technology Diploma has 2 intakes a year. The department will select applicants after the deadline dates. And you can see for the September date, the application period is between January 2nd and May 15th. And for the January start date is July 15th to October 15th. Whoops. So the length demands on the number of theory courses taken each term. 6 to 9 credits per term is approximately 3 to 5 years to complete. And if you have 12 to 18 credits per term, it's approximately 2 years to complete. So students are strongly recommended to complete all requirements within the 5 years to be successful on the cardiology technologist's credentialing exam. Now, filling out the online application is relatively straightforward. Once application opens for each cycle, you can log in and review the online application. You can work on filling out the application at your own pace. It does not go to admission until you pay the application fee, and the date you apply does not have an impact on your application. You have until the application deadline date to submit your application. Regarding the application process, you will first review all the entrance requirements and the application processing dates. You can find those on the program website. You will then upgrade if necessary. BCIT does offer upgrading courses in many subjects, so program advising can assist you with this. And then ensure that when you apply online, that you have all your required documents, such as transcripts, ready to scan and upload as PDF files. BCIT.ca admission will guide you through the step-by-step application process. And then once you're ready to apply online, you can visit bcit.ca/apply. And the application fee for domestic students is $90 Canadian. The application process takes place entirely online. Therefore, you will need to convert your official transcripts and any additional documents that may be required into PDF files. Now let's review the requirements. There are test course options for meeting entrance requirements, and please contact program advising for assistance with that. Mandatory applicant questionnaire. And this is your opportunity to highlight any non-academic experiences that you have and will strengthen your application, as well as to highlight your skills and abilities. There's also the Casper test, which is an online test, and the test will utilize everyday scenarios. A moral dilemma is presented to the test taker, and there's no right or wrong answer. So you cannot really study for this test as it's not knowledge-based. However, there's a full 12-section Casper sample test available online. So once you create an account, you have access to the sample test. And then you can access a sample test, and the test is free of charge to use. And there's a lot of information on the Casper site to help you prepare on the exam. So please spend time reviewing this information. I'm going to put the Casper test link in the chat to make it easy for everybody. As mentioned, as part of the online application, you will need to upload documents for a timely assessment to be completed. You can download official digital transcripts, or you can convert your transcript documents into PDF files. Information on how to convert documents to PDF files is available on our website. For example, you can scan or take a picture of your official transcripts and save them as PDF files. And please ensure you upload all required documents to minimize delays in the application process. So the admissions process is first, admissions reviews applications to ensure the requirements have been met. And then admissions forwards completed applications to the cardiology department. After application deadline date, cardiology department shortlists and selects applicants. And then admission sends out the acceptance letters, and you pay the commitment fee, which I believe right now is $500. Okay, now moving from academics, I would like to let you know BCIT is committed to supporting students in a holistic sense. We want you to succeed not only in your academics, but also outside of school. Some student services are available to you as a prospective student, and others will be available to you once you become an enrolled student. And here are some important student supports that I'd like to mention. If you are Indigenous, BCIT's Indigenous Initiatives Department is there for you to ensure a smooth transition into your first year. And they offer peer-to-peer mentorship, a welcoming gathering place, and provide clarification on Indigenous funding. BCIT's awards, scholarships, and bursaries are listed on the Financial Aids and Awards webpage. I would like to mention that we have a President's Entrance Award. Selection is based on academic achievement, but also volunteer and community service. So please contact financial aid directly for more information about that. BCIT is committed to providing assistance to students with permanent or temporary disabilities. If you have been accepted to a program and believe you may need accommodation to be successful, I encourage you to connect with our Accessibility Services Department. BCIT Student Health Services is a health clinic located on the Burnaby campus. They provide medical care for the current BCIT students all year round. We also have a counseling and student development department available to help you enhance your education performance and maximize your success as a student at BCIT. And finally, but not least, our recreation services promotes, encourages, and enables the practice of physical well-being. We consider recreation an integral part of campus life and welcome all students to enjoy their services. And if you have any questions after today, I encourage you to contact and connect with Program Advising. They're available by telephone, email, and Zoom appointments. And please go to the website, bcit.ca/advising, for the most up-to-date contact information and service hours. I would like to mention, if your inquiry is time sensitive, please call for assistance. That would be the quickest way to get any answers. And here we have our social media handles for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You don't need to write these down. Everyone will be receiving a copy of the slide deck and a video recording in an email sometime next week. So we just want to let you know to look for those. And if you want to, please connect with us. And there's lots to learn more about BCIT's offerings in the next column. And that will take us to our questions and answers. So I've been a little distracted from the chat, but let me have a quick look and see if there's anything that has not been answered. I know Rachel got the one directed to her, and it looks like it's wide open. If anyone has any questions for either Lisa, the program head, we have Meninder is here from Program Advising. She would be super helpful to ask any advising questions. And of course, Rachel looks like she's still online if you have something you want to hear from a grad point of view.
Okay, and can I just add a couple things that I noticed from one that popped into my head? One of the things I'd like to extend to all of you is that we do allow students to take 1 to 3 courses prior to or being accepted in the program. Sometimes applicants are kind of curious, you know, is this really for them? Are they going to be able to manage an online format? So we will allow students to take a couple of our first year courses as a try. So that might be something that is attractive to people to give them a little bit of a taste to see if this is the kind of learning environment that would work for you. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the application, the questionnaire. If you do decide to proceed to apply into our program, I just want to encourage everyone to really sell yourself and showcase all of the things that you've done academically or volunteer or in your life experiences. We've just done the review of applicants the last few weeks, and really you want to take the time to really showcase yourself. I think you know, that's our opportunity to try to get a sense of you and what you are, what you're about and why you think you'd be a good fit in cardiology.
A couple of quick questions just popped up here.
Okay.
One
Sure.
from Nadine. How would you go about selecting those courses to try before being accepted?
Yes. Okay. Great question. We sort of have pre-selected the 3 courses that we feel work well for it. So there is medical terminology course that, you know, really I encourage any applicant to take, because if you decide to do any education in health, it would benefit you to take this course. And the other ones we allow people to take is the Intro to Cardiology and the Cardiology for Basic Instrumentation. So those are the 3 courses that generally people will try out. And this time of year, really, as you can see, the applications have just closed for January, and we will be taking students again until September. So in winter or spring, this might be your chance to give a course a try, and you know, it might confirm if you think you want to continue.
Excellent. Thank you. Here's a question from Charlotte. Does the general work environment of a cardiology tech involve high stress, blood, operating room?
Great question. Do you want to take that one, Rachel, or you want me to? Maybe I'll
Maybe
start and she
we
can
both
jump in
can, I
after.
guess.
Yeah, we both
Yeah.
can. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's a difficult question to ask about the involve high stress. I think one of the, you know, amazing things about really wherever you live, there are smaller facilities and there are high trauma or acute facilities. So if you work somewhere like St. Paul's, it's going to be a more acute setting. You're going to see more. But there's also smaller hospitals like Peace Arch or Delta. And that suits some people better for their lifestyle. They, you know, there's some people that really enjoy the acuity. I am a person like that. I love that. But then there's some people that, you know, that's not so much for them. Blood and operating room, I would say not a lot of. Especially definitely not the operating room. The only time we really get called into the operating room is if something's if a patient's not doing so well after surgery, or a quick pre-op if something's kind of flagged them before they're going to the OR. And really there's not a lot of blood. I mean, there are some bodily fluids for sure. There are inpatients that will come, but I wouldn't say the majority of the work is not. So Rachel, go ahead.
Yeah, I work at Abbotsford, which is a trauma center, right? Like they're considered a trauma center. And then there's I work at Chilliwack and also Langley, like a few shifts here and there. And it's so different at every hospital. So Chilliwack and Langley are very like small. They don't get, I haven't seen a lot of those like big traumas go in there. But even when you go into a trauma to do an ECG, you don't have to look at the, you know, anything. You just look at your spot on the chest and you put your stickers on, you know, and you do your ECG. So, I mean, if you feel squeamish about that kind of stuff, I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything too horrifying. Or what about you, Lisa?
Yeah, like I would say that what attracted me to cardiology
I
to
love it. Yeah.
yeah, was I really wasn't keen on a lot of night shifts or bodily fluids. And that was one of the reasons. And I wanted to, for me, I was attracted to be in healthcare in an area where patients are empowered that they can make changes in their lives to help their health. And there's a lot of other areas that that's not the case. But seeing a patient, say, have a heart attack, you meet them in Emerge, you do tests on them during or later on, and then they come back every year for checkups, and to see how they're doing is extremely rewarding.
Totally.
So yeah, like it's a pretty, and it's a very diverse job as well. You don't stay put, so you're not sort of in a you're not in one area all the time. You get to move around, and that suits for me, that suits my personality as well.
Great. Thank you, Lisa and Rachel. There's another Rachel saying, hi, thank you for this info. Just wondering if you can discuss what kind of volunteering experience you most often see or look for. Thank you.
Sure. Me? Okay. So yes, we have, I would say most of the volunteer hours that I have people discuss on applications are what we're really looking for is something in a setting like in a senior's home or in the hospital. Like I know VGH takes volunteers to work in the gift shop. There was actually quite a fair amount recently, I would say, that were volunteering in COVID capacities. Anything that has to do with patient interaction would be what would be the number one thing that we would be looking for. But I also think that to consider that there is lots of volunteering within your community as well. And we look at that too, because being able to volunteer in your community is also is a contribution.
Jasmine is asking, hi, I'm currently a unit clerk at ARH, and I was wondering if my nursing unit clerk certification would count toward any credits with this course. Thank you.
Okay, hi. So do you know Rachel? You guys can look out for each other now. I would say that being a unit clerk strengthens your application because it demonstrates that you are already used to aspects of the hospital, how hospital functions. You are involved on the team for a patient, and you can definitely kind of highlight that in your application. In terms of if there's any transferable courses, for the most part, there's usually not. I would say that we sometimes have students who can apply for transfer credit for medical terminology. That would be one course where I see it. And sometimes for lab assistants that have a lab assistant background, they get the phlebotomy course you can use for transfer credit, but not specifically a unit clerk. But oh, great. So Moninder has all the equivalents, I think, as well. Admissions can give you a sense of what is equal to other courses.
We have, sorry, I joined a little late. Just please let me know if it is a full-time program.
Yeah, so we are under the part-time umbrella, so you can take courses full-time and you can also take them part-time. The only thing we will ask for is we do ask for a commitment as to when you think you're going to do your clinical. So once you're in the program, you can kind of test out the waters, have an idea of what you think you're going to do. There is an option to shift your clinicals if you need to, but I would say at this point, I would say we have, there was a time where we had most students doing full-time, and I would say that's not the case now. I would say about 50% of our students are carrying full-time workloads, and I have 50% that is doing part-time. And generally, one of the things about flexibility here is that there is the option that a lot of people are caregivers at home, or they already have another job as well.
What if you already took some of the required entrance requirements way back 5 years ago but on a private college school, like the anatomy and physiology, English, will it still be valid or needed to take it again at BCIT or for upgrade?
Is that a Meninder question, or can you type that, Meninder? The recency is, I don't know if you want to speak to the recency is for biology only. The other ones don't have recency. Do you want to add to that though, Meninder? Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct, Lisa. Thank you. And I was just responding to Romery directly as well about the private school question, part of that question. BCIT generally accepts courses from public schools. And so if you have completed courses at a private school, they may not meet the specific course requirements directly. So it's best to check with us, and you have options. It could be that you have to write an assessment exam, and perhaps courses have been pre-approved from your particular school. So just double check with program advising. So it's a very specific question for each individual.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Meninder. And I see you've been answering them down in the chat here. So I hope I didn't skip any. I'm going to jump right down to, is there a ballpark number for tuition, books, etc. for the program?
I can speak to that. I just did the math for it recently. Yes, I just did the math for it recently. And if you took every course, the ballpark is about $21,000.
Excellent. Great. That's a nice, fast answer.
I just did it.
Yeah, thank you. I don't see any that Meninder hasn't answered already. Anyone else have any? Oh, something came in. No, that was just a thanks. Sorry.
Yeah, and I guess just to add to the tuition question, the great thing about the fact that this program is offered through part-time studies, or what we're also now calling flexible learning, is that you're paying for the courses you're registering for each semester. So you're not paying a set fee each semester, you're paying for the specific courses you're registered into.
Online, the entrance requirements mention Pre-Cal 12 or Foundations of Math 12 as being accepted for this course. However, your slideshow only showed Pre-Cal 12.
We go by the website.
Go by the website.
Yes, I think, we need to edit that on our slide deck. Thank you, Charlotte.
Yeah, sadly, not all the information makes it into the slide deck. So definitely the website is the best resource. For
yeah, we're just kind of, sometimes limited by the space.
Right. Okay. Anything else? I know we're kind of almost at time. I just want to allow, in case I've missed any. Just scanning.
Yeah, and maybe I'll just at the end wrap up too, is that, there is a real need for cardio techs all across Canada. So if you have sort of the bug to maybe consider moving to a different province or doing a clinical placement in another province or another area, that is a possibility as well. We are in conversations with Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is quite desperate for cardio techs, and currently they are offering relocation fee, like a relocation amount, and considering like a bonus if you sign up for working for their health authority for I think it's 2 years. Anyway, if anyone, I think that just speaks to the need that there is out there for cardio techs.
And I did put up the program advising email for everyone. And like I said, you'll be getting a copy of the slide deck sometime next week, so you can just check out all the information in case you missed anything or just want to review. And with that, I believe we're going to thank everyone for coming.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, all great questions and great answers. Thank you for Rachel Meninder and Lisa.
Yeah, thank you.
Why do I think I direct messaged somebody by accident? That's okay. Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. Good luck.
Take care.